Good morning and welcome to another little adventure. Mrs. C's just getting herself ready at the moment. We're out in the van again. This is it. This is photography, van life photography. I use this van all the time, as you know. You don't have to, but it just makes my life a lot easier. So I'm going to try and integrate the van into different things. But yeah, we've been up this morning. We've had a cup of tea this morning. I've managed to get her out of bed. The time is just gone 7. The time's just gone 7, and I've got a plan. We've got a plan for the whole weekend. We're actually in Nottingham area because I'm going to see the good guys Rob and Richard at Eco-Tree, the leisure batteries, lithium batteries. So I'm going to get an upgrade this morning. So I'm going to go and do that later on, and you will see that in the video. But at the moment I'm chasing light because I've actually got some light going on here. As you can see behind me, it's got a little bit of orange and pinks in it, which I kind of knew was going to happen because last night it gave high cloud, and yeah, that's the plan. I'm just running a little bit late because yeah, I've had to wait for Mrs. C just to get out of bed because she doesn't jump out as quick as I do. So come on there, it's time to go. No, you're up. I know you're up, but I normally rush out. She's telling me off now. But yeah, we're at a special little place, a good little location. Grab your tripod, we'll start to move. Yeah, I definitely got more of a rush on than Mrs. C does. Wrong. Oh, what are you doing?
I want my gloves.
Oh, gloves, camera bag. Right, door shut. Second door shut. Lock. We're good to go. Right, so just pull the door handle, just make sure. She's locked. Right, we've got to move because, like I say, behind me, or like I've just said behind me, there is a bit of colour, and I want to try and catch that little bit of colour. The only problem is, what we've come to shoot, it isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. And what we've come to shoot is, if I spin you to one side, the big power stations. Yes, we are at the power station. You've got the big cooling towers. Both me and Mrs. C wanted to do this for a very, very, very long time. When we were in the camera clubs, it was always one of those images we fancied taking with the steam. Now, we did come out last night when we got here. Oh, there is wind in it. When we came out last night, we come and took a few images in the dark. You know, we were messing around with higher ISOs and long exposures and stuff like that. We had the camera going for sort of like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes and stuff like that. So if we manage to make something out of that, the images will be coming up on the screen as I'm talking. It's really difficult to balance those really, really bright lights that you can see at the bottom, the train station and the dark towers, and then the highlighted steam. But it was a lot of steam there last night, so it looked really good. So that's my plan for this weekend. We have got some colour, definitely got colour arising. We now need to leg it along the lane to try and get some separation in the towers, and then I'll switch it back on. God, that was a good intro, wasn't it? So we've actually stopped quickly to get our first shot because as we're walking along, we've got this colour, and the colour is just above the tower. I can't see it so much on the back of my camera, but I can definitely see it with my eyes and on this Osmo. And the idea is we've got this tower in the middle, the one like the chimney, and it's got some lights on it. Now as we move along, we saw the light starting to appear from the back, so we set up the image. Very simple, we're going to point it straight at it. Got a little bit of oranges going on, pinks in the sky, and the lights are muted out as well. We've managed to get the lights muted out by some bushes. So we're going to get this shot, and we're definitely going to walk along a little bit ship-shape sharpish just to get the towers. It's a shame there's no steam on them, but we'll get the towers with a little bit of colour in the sky. We're going to come back tonight and tomorrow, so fingers crossed we'll get something because it gives frost tomorrow morning. Right, so this morning's not really happening. It's not really doing what we thought it was going to do. There was a little bit of colour first thing this morning, and there is a little bit of colour over in the background. Don't get me wrong, there is some colour in that sky, but I don't think the light's getting through enough to hit the high altitude clouds above the actual cooling towers. So I've had to walk along the lane. Won't say when we got here last night it was dark, so there wasn't a lot going on, but at least now I've got an idea of what's actually going on, and I know how far down I've got to come. Now what I'm going to do later on today is I'm going to have a recce, because there is actually a canal that runs down this back end here. So I'm going to have a walk along the canal and see that if maybe tomorrow morning the plan is to go walk along the canal, get up a little bit earlier, put an extra half hour or so on the journey and actually walk down the back of the canal or up the lane and round over the bridge and see if we've got a nice position that we can shoot long across it, because I'm hoping tomorrow gives a lot colder, frostier morning with no wind, and hopefully there might be some steam going on. Maybe not, maybe the steam only happens in the evening. I don't know what time they run these machines. I don't know what time this power station's running all the time, or whether they're doing what they're doing. It's not very often I've seen steam coming out of them, but I did last night. This position's not bad. It's got a nice spread. You can see over my shoulder there's a nice spread of all the towers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 towers there. So it's just trying to get that spread of the towers really. Mrs. C's come along, she's joined me. She was down there shooting a bit further along. Yeah, she had to walk down the lane. She actually parked up down there and set the camera up to try and get something in that direction with a tree on the other side, I think. So yeah, it's not a bad position where I am now. The light's coming up in the distance, but the clouds are, it's not hitting the clouds above the towers. So yeah, we'll probably scrap this morning maybe if it doesn't actually kick off. But then saying that, yes, saying that, now I've just looked again, it's really orange behind the towers. So that must mean the light is coming through somewhere. So it might just catch through and hit this lot. If it does, we might take one from here and we'll call that it for this morning, because I've definitely got to be where I need to be at Oak Tree at 9:30 this morning. So I can't mess around for too long. Say good morning, dear, when I get there.
Morning.
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 You all right?
Yeah, I've just come down to let you know I've got the winner up there. So
You've got the winner already? What a cheek.
put your camera away. But you're on a wide angle, aren't you?
I am. What are you on?
Me normal.
Haven't you got a wide angle?
Yeah, I think it's in my bag and it's too cold.
You need my wide angle and I need to buy a nice new one.
Or you could just buy me the nice new one. You keep the crappy one.
We have got pinks. We have got pinks. Look, we've got pinks. Let's get this shot. It's suddenly actually happening. Let's go again. I take that last comment about not getting any colour back. It's suddenly actually started to burst through. So this looks like the position we're going to be in now, because it's definitely, the light is coming through behind the towers, hitting those clouds at the top there, and we are getting some colour. So right, we have got an image that we can work with. Magic. So if I don't carry on this morning, I'll see you sometime this afternoon. Enjoy these couple to get you going, and yeah, time for a cup of tea after this. So like I said to you just now, we are done. We've just been stood here for another 10 minutes or so, just seeing what was going to happen, and it did light up. Yeah, we did get some colour, as I said, but only a little bit, because this lower sort of medium height cloud is sort of coming over the top of our head, and as it comes over it's sort of snubbing out the light, and now the sun's got too high that there's no light to be had as such, you know, no colours anyway, so it's gone very grey. So we're calling that it. I'm going to put these cameras away until this afternoon. We're going to go and see about changing my leisure system and my solar system on the van, because we need more power. And yeah, breakfast, coffee, bit of a chill out day. We're going to explore around. Like, we're going to go down the marina, walk round and try and find a nice shot with, get some water in it. It'd be nice to get some water in the foreground and the cooling towers behind it, especially if there's going to be a bit of a frost in the morning. The hard thing is separation. As we walked along the lane, I sort of tried to work out where I've got separation. So like for this shot, I've got separation on two main towers, and then 2 partly overlapped and 2 overlapped at the end. So it's difficult to get that separation. I think you need to be further back, and the angles will look different, I think. But yeah, it's the steam. You need the steam. You need the smoke steam coming out the top to make this come alive. Otherwise, it's just cooling towers. Now, they impress me. Do not get me wrong. These things do impress me. I know it's a blot on the landscape, and these will be coming down at some point, or either the other ones over there. This is Ratcliffe, I think, Ratcliffe Power Station. They will be coming down at some point, and it's just astonishing how many bricks are in those cooling towers, and they do amaze me. I think they're fantastic. I'm going to try and get the drone out sometime this afternoon and have a bit of a fly around. We'll see what happens with that, and yeah, see you a little bit later on, I suppose. Well, that was interesting. We got a second glow, second blush, or a second wave, whatever you want to call it. Just as I packed all my gear away, the light came over again. So yeah, we've had another 10 minutes, 15 minutes messing with the camera, trying a few different angles, different shapes, picking off 2s, 3s, 1s, a bit of time lapsing with the sky moving because the low clouds definitely shooting over the top of our head. Now it's definitely all gone, but yeah, that was a mad 15 minutes. It always happens to me that I always go into a bit of panic mode because I never know which is the best shot. I feel like I'm going to miss out if I don't take lots, and I'm so trying to control myself and only take 1 or 2 images. Mrs. C's got a corker, I think. She did a long exposure at one point with all the clouds going across the top with a bit of a silhouetted towers. Looks really good. And you just picked off one of you. So she picked off one. She had a different lens on than me, so she managed to get in a bit closer and picked off one tower. So I'm sure you've already seen them. If not, they're going up now. So yeah, definitely breakfast time because we've got to get moving this morning.
My belly's rumbling.
Your belly's rumbling.
Yeah.
Oh. Mrs. C's on a diet. She's not having any carbs. She's doing really well. I'm not, because I'm finishing off all the cakes and things she keeps making me. It's not good. So breakfast, definitely breakfast. We got bacon and black pudding, haven't we?
Bacon, black pudding, or
protein shake.
Things.
Bacon then. So we are back out. I've been over to Oak Tree to get my Eco Tree battery. Had a good conversation with Rob, and we are going to be putting a video together. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to tell you guys that have got vans and stuff that want a better battery for your van. We say are brilliant. We are coming for a bit of a recce. We're on the other side of the water. Look at this, we've got a lovely bit of water now between us and the power station. So we just had some reflections. There's a sort of like this is a cattle field that we're in. You're allowed to walk all the way along here, and there's like a drinking hollow there where the cows have or the cattle have walked down to the water to get a drink, and we're getting a reflection every so often in this water. So I've tried one with a 10 stop, I've tried one with a 6 stop, but the actual natural one I think worked best on its own when the wind calmed right down and you got a shiny reflection. And it looked pretty awesome. Now I know we've got no steam. That would have been the absolute icing on the cake. But I'm hopeful for this evening and tomorrow morning. Now we're just looking for some locations. This would be stunning tonight if there's a bit of light in the sky and you've got a reflection on the water. I think that'll look pretty awesome. We get down low enough, we can get rid of some of that distraction in the middle as well. And you've got the 2 canal boats in front of it as well, which is awesome. So yeah, we're having a bit of a recce along this side of the canal. We're going to see if we can find a couple of decent compositions, I know it's a random image, I know it's a big man-made power station, a big structure, but it just looks cool. It really does. Let's see what we can come up with. But it is windy. So we walked along a little bit further now, and I think I found a nice shot for later on. I've just taken one on my phone, but we've got some boats lined up in a diagonal line, so they're sort of staggered, and we've got 2 trees that are almost framing the towers. So if you get a little bit closer to the shoreline, if you get any reflection, if it does calm down later on, you'll get a great sort of evening light on those towers with the reflection in the water. So I think that might work, and it's quite open, even though the trees are either side. I think it's quite an open shot. It's quite good, that one. So there's another one. That's two areas we can stop at and have a look at. We're going to keep walking and see if we can find some more. So I'm not sure whether we're going to carry on any further around. You can still see the power station over our shoulder. We've come right around the canal now, and I'll try and put a map up to show you where we've walked, and we've come right the way around. We've come up to these locks, which we just walked across the lock, but this has impressed me. I've got to show you this. I'm really impressed with this. This is obviously a lock that's been filled in. The lock must have come straight through at some point, through here and out. So they've obviously filled it in with tons and tons of soil, and the lock gates are still in there. I'm quite impressed with that. It looks really cool. Never seen anything like that before. So all these little wonders that never cease to amaze me. But yeah, I'm actually, if I jump on here, woo, I'm now stood in the middle of the lock, or what was the lock at some point. So as long as there's not a hole in, I'm going to fall through. But yeah, really weird. Mrs. C's on the other side, so I'm going to have to get back over that side now. Go over and see her there. She's there. Give us a wave, dear. She's there. It's so windy, so windy, and I've got to walk across the top of this, so a little bit scary, a little bit sketchy. Let's just put this on my chain and we'll go across the top. But it is a bit sketchy. It's only 8 inches wide. You've got a handrail, but you know what it's like. Sketchy and scary, and there's a bit of a drop down there. We don't want to be going in that, do we? So, is there a way of using this lock, we say? That's the question. I'm not so sure there is, because the power station's over that way and the trees are blocking it. Otherwise, if the trees weren't blocking it, yes, it would work. Definitely. Yeah, if the trees weren't blocking it just there, you could use this lock as a bit of something to point you over that way, but oh well, we'll go back. We've got a couple of locations we can wait around. Just a bit worried about the sky because it's gone rather grey in places and it's really windy, and we haven't brought our waterproofs with us, so we could end up getting back rather wet. So I'm not going to waffle on anymore. I'll shut up until we start taking pictures, and then we'll switch you back on again. What do you mean that'll be a first? Cheek of it. Dark and we're out. It hasn't turned out the way we planned it to be. I was kind of planning on getting a bit of a sunset style image, and it's turned out that I've got an image set up in the dark. Now this is awesome. I'm really quite impressed with this photo. It's very dark outside, there's not many clouds, but there's a little bit of steam coming out of these towers, and it's going to make this evening quite nice to have a shot like this, because we're on a boatyard at the end of the day. We're on a marina, aren't we? So we knew there's a couple of boats. I took some photographs on my phone earlier on, and I knew there's a couple of boats down here that might be interesting, but as I turned the corner where we're actually parked, the lights just caught the side of this boat, and because it's an old style boat, it just looks brilliant, absolutely brilliant in front of these smoking, steaming towers. And I'm even getting a few stars in the sky as well, or I was, until I put this light on in my eyes and I can't see anything now. Now Denise is baking a shot. She's actually next to me baking a shot, but I'm just going to spend a few minutes walking around here trying to get a few interesting looking photos with these boats in. Not sure how it's going to work. No reflections because they are dry. They're on a hard stand in the harbour. So yeah, let's see what we can do. And I'd like to get a couple of stars in it as well if I can. And if I really get brave, I may even set up a time lapse and do a star trail. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see, because there's a lot of cars coming and going, so I don't know if it'll work. But we'll see. I'll have a look. But enjoy this first one, and let's see what else I can create out of this. I have just taken an absolutely killer shot, an absolute belter of an image. I'm well impressed. I've really impressed myself, surpassed anything that I was imagining I was going to get. This looks so ghostly and eerie, It just looks amazing. I'm at ISO 1000 because I need to keep as much light as my camera as I can in the dark. I've got my head torch on, which is just help to illuminate my foreground a little bit. I'm at f11, which is giving me a decent enough depth of field to make it look like it's okay, rather than, you know, a tiny one that's everything's where everything's blurred. I've got some small wispy clouds in the sky that have got movement on them, and the steam coming out. It just looks amazing on the back of this camera. Wowee. We're going to make a move back to the van and get some soup and warm up, because our fingers have gone really cold. I've only brought my little gloves out. Wasn't expecting to be cold, but it's given a really cold night tonight and a frost in the morning. So let's see what we can do in the morning to finish this video off. Let's see if we can get a little bit of frost, some steam and a little bit of colour in the sky just to finish it off. But I think I've got a couple of really quite unique looking shots in this, and hopefully something you think is quite good from a big monstrous power station. So yeah, nothing spectacular. I'm not going to do a time lapse because there's too many cars and vehicles moving around, and I can't leave my camera lying around here because I don't know who's around. So yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Night. Still it is. Reflections. Good morning. And I can't shout too loudly because I'm on the side of the canal, and I think for all that I don't do a lot of planning, I'd planned this morning for about a week watching the weather, and it's given a no wind, frosty morning. I was edging my bets with some little clouds, and I was edging my bets that the frosty morning would turn these towers into something that me and Denise had been dreaming of getting a picture of for many years, and I've nailed it. The conditions are absolutely perfect. We've got no wind whatsoever. The canal is like a mill pond. It is so still, you can shave in it. It's that good. We've got no wind, so it's not blowing the steam anywhere. The steam's bellowing out the top of the power station, out of these chimneys. We've got the canal boats on the side of the river. We've got the light coming up, and we've even got high altitude clouds that are going almost definitely catch that sky. Wow, have we got what we asked for? And we've totally got it. It is fantastic. So all I've got to do now is get in those positions that we looked at yesterday and get the shot set up. But at the moment I'm just down on the bank again, right down near the edge of the water. So I'm trying to get a double reflection. I've got the double reflection. I'm trying to get a reflection to mimic what I've got in the sky, and it's just awesome. I don't know whether to stay here or to run round and get that position where I wanted those diagonal boats and then come back. I'm almost thinking this is a killer because he's got a reflection, but if it's as good up there as well, I think I need to go up there and have a look. Wowee. I'm just trying a couple of different things with ISO 160. I'm at f8, I think I am. Yeah, so ISO 160 and ISO 400, which is giving me a slight more movement and different movement in the actual steam, but the steam's catching the light. It's just, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, if you like that sort of thing, and we do. Oh yes. So I've got myself in one of those states of mind that I don't know where I want to be now, because all these locations that I've looked at all look good. I've actually come to the position where I've got the diagonal boats, which I think works okay. I've got the wide angle on them out at 10mm, trying to get all the reflection, all the sky, all the steam in. Now as the sky brightens up, it's losing that nice colour that was on the cloud. The clouds are dissipating a little bit in the sky, so I'm hoping they're going to hang around long enough, but we've still got, God, we must have ages still for sunrise. Yeah, we've got another maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so it could all change completely from then. So I'm going to hang around here, drink me coffee, and then I'm going to either scarper that way or that way, depending on what happens probably. But we'll do with this for now. I'm in a vertical orientation, which means I've got as much of the reflection as possible, and I may set it up so I can pano it. That's probably the best way of doing it. Then I've got the best of both worlds. I've got a wide shot, you know, like a 10x8 or a 6x4, and I've also got the reflection, so by doing a pano I can get all that in. So yeah, I'm going to set this up nice and still now, and I'm just going to hang around here. Now I am on a little bit of a bank, which is not ideal, but I'll be alright. Oh, Denise has got down on the bank as well. So if that's the case, I might go over where she is, because that's where I want to be. But I didn't think I could get down that side. But she's down. So yeah, we'll sit here. We'll sit here, and I'll sit this one and wait for it, I think. And there's a slight, tiny little bit of mist just on the edge of the water. I don't know if it's going to come out in the photo, but there's definitely a tiny little bit of mist. What about that for icing on the cake? So the sun's just starting to make these distant clouds right back in the distance, just making them orange. The ones above our head unfortunately have actually burnt away a little bit, but there are a few there that's just giving us a small orange glow in the background and behind the towers, which is I think's enough. But with a wide angle shot like I'm doing, they look pretty small, the towers, so I may just zoom in and just forget the reflection for a moment, just to get the one shot with a little bit of colour behind it, and then back it back out then and get another one. So keep an eye on my Osmo, because my Osmo's dying very, very fast. But what a cracking little morning, what a really nice little morning. Well, good. You can see Mrs. C's up behind me as well. She's enjoying it as well, which is good. Well worth the early get up. Well, this is a bit of a pooper, isn't it? My Osmo's actually died, so I'm using my phone just so I can get the last bit of the video and put the footage together. You can see the sun's come up now, and look at this lovely steaming glow as you can see on my phone. My phone's actually awesome for doing this, isn't it great? It's actually much better than the Osmo. We had a little tiny bit of mist down the canal. I shot some panoramics. Mrs. C's got a couple of corkers, she thinks, so yeah, hopefully everything's going to be pretty cool. But the sun's up now. the steam's turned a white colour, so we're now sort of packing up and heading back. But I cannot get this little Osmo to work whatsoever. I've got it on a battery pack, I've got it charging, I put it in my coat to try and warm it up, but it's just cold and it just doesn't want to work, which is an absolute major failure. So DJI needs to crack on and try and sort out a little problem to get that sorted, because I can't be having that doing that. But you can see behind me, it's a big massive power station. Thank you for watching. I know it's been a bit of a weird one. We started off on Friday night. We've got a couple of snapshots on the, well, so a couple of snaps, we've got a couple of photos. We didn't video it. Got up Saturday morning. We didn't get the steam that we hoped, but we got some nice colour. And then the plan was to get this morning, or last night. We actually got out last night and took some photographs, which you saw as well. And then we come for a walk. We Recce'd it yesterday. We come for a walk over here. We knew the couple of locations we wanted to get to, and we've done it. And we've got the steam. We lost the high cloud. The high altitude cloud just disappeared. There was a little bit of orange over in the distance, but I think we've got a couple of pretty cool shots with the canal boats. Nice smoke off of one of the chimneys and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to head back to the van now. And yeah, you get a little bit different to me as well, didn't you? So yeah, we'll put Denise's up. If you've not already seen them, you'll see them anyway at the end. But yeah, thanks to Ratcliffe Power Station for having that lovely steam this morning. Thanks to God for letting us have this nice frosty morning to let the steam appear. And thanks to the wife for getting up with me. So, till next time, ciao for now. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. And yeah, just leave us a comment. What do you think of this? The blue plume of steam. I know, it's awesome, isn't it? What do you think of this? Is this landscape photography? What is this? We wanted to do this for a long time. But yeah, what is it? What do you think of it? Is it worth me shooting? Is it worth me trying to do these slightly industrial things? I think it's pretty cool. So anyway,
Part of it.
It is part of it. It's part of everything, isn't it?
That's the thing, isn't it? Landscape photography isn't just about rolling hills, mountains, lakes and all the rest
No,
of
it's a bit of everything.
This is your industrial landscape.
Yeah. Oh, we also got this, didn't we? Look at this reflection here. Look at that. That's what we were playing with this morning, and my phone really does pick it up well. So look at that for a reflection. Awesome, absolutely awesome. What a shame I didn't come back there when it was all nice glowing pink. But you can't be in all the places at once, can you? Right, I'm going. Ciao for now. See you soon, guys. Bye bye. Say bye, wife.